Good afternoon and welcome to the final midday motivation of 2023. It has been a dynamic year, a really fun year, a really tough year in a lot of ways, but it wraps up this weekend as we roll into 2024. And today I want to share with you a few different things that are going to help you be successful, not only in attaining your goals, but also sustaining your goals as well. Because there's nothing worse than falling short of what we used to call resolutions. As we talked about yesterday, resolutions is no longer a word we're going to use anymore. But 2024 is the year of your goal that you're going to achieve. And we're going to set it up for several goals that you can go after, but making sure that you are prioritizing and focusing the right ways. So I want to talk a little bit about that, but also after yesterday's Murphy Law incident with the Stream Deck, I'm going to go back and talk about a couple quick things before we launch into this. So number one, I'm excited to launch a brand new website look coming in 2024, but also the new speaker reel is here, right here in the middle of the front page. But the thing I'm most excited about is I'm going to be launching a new newsletter called Play, Record, Pause. And what that is going to be are going to be three things I'm going to share with you. One, how to play and how to engage in things that you should be doing. So what habits should you be building and what habits should you keep moving forward on to be as optimal from a professional and personal side as you possibly can? So that's the play. What habits should you put into place? So what mindset should you put into place? So a whole bunch of content coming there. Record is going to be a fun insertion of a song, either chosen by me or by you. If you have a song that makes you feel confident, brings you instant happiness, send me a message. I want to hear what yours what your songs are. Send them to rich@richbracken.com. I want to see and hear what these songs are that motivate you, that make you happy. And I want to include this story. Tell me the why. So song title, artist, and why is that song important to you? So please send those to me. I'm going to start adding some of those into the playlist as well that I'm going to be building on Spotify. So lots of really cool stuff coming there. And then finally, pause, which is really, in essence, the thing that you should pause and stop doing. What are the habits or what are the mindset shifts that you need to get rid of? What are the bad habits that we get into, or what are the negative mindsets that we get into? What should we stop doing? So Play, Record, Pause is the new newsletter I'm going to be launching in 2024. Very music infused. If you're not sure what Play, Record, Pause means, you're probably under 30 years old. So really what it boils down to is the fact that I obsessed with Casey Kasem and America's Top 40. And back in the day, I used to record songs off the radio to make sure that I was getting them. But also at the same time, like I always wound up with Casey Kasem's voice over top of the front and the back of the song. But Play, Record, Pause was the ability to record the song. So all you had to do is unpause it. But it's nostalgic in that sense, but it's also, it's very heartfelt to me. So it really sings to the idea of me wanting to help and serve others. So just real quick, go to the bottom of the front page of the newsletter or the website. You can sign up for the newsletter down at the bottom there. Make sure you fill in your email address, and I'm going to start launching those next Friday. And then going forward, probably every other Friday or so. But make sure you sign up for the newsletter. I want to make sure that you get this great content and make sure you're continuing to build the positive habits in 2024. So today I want to talk about the 4 things that you can do starting today, because again, we're not going to be talking about resolutions. We're not going to wait until New Year's Eve to set these up. I want to set them up now, either today or this weekend. I want you to sit down and I want you to do these 4 easy things. Number 1, when you're thinking about your goals, I want you to write them all down. Write down as many goals as you possibly can. Because what happens is that sometimes we hesitate a little bit. We don't put the things down that we truly want to do or accomplish. And we wind up just kind of, I'll deal with it or I'll get to it at some point. No, put all your goals down on one piece of paper. Write down what you want to do and when you want to accomplish it by. And those are going to be the things that when we write down goals, we're more likely to attain them. We're more likely to achieve them. But when we do those, it's really important that we see them in front of us, because I've been guilty of this too, where I will think about a goal or something that I want to get done, and then, something else will happen or an email will pop up and I'll get distracted, and then off I go into the rest of the day, and I've forgotten what that thing was I want to get a hold of or get done. So make sure you write all these goals down, keep them in a Microsoft OneNote or on a Microsoft Word document. But again, write down what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, and also write down when you want to get it done by. Once you get that list done, I want you to scroll through that list and look at every single one and think, are you doing this for yourself, or are you doing this for somebody else, or because somebody else may approve of you because of it? And one of the biggest ones that people do is weight loss, right? They want to get healthy. They want to get in shape. They want to feel better. They want to look better. But a lot of times people are doing it for somebody else. They're trying to impress a spouse or a significant other, or maybe they're just trying to make themselves look more appealing if they're single. Whatever the case may be, whatever the reason is, they typically will do it because they want somebody else to accept them. And having gone through, I'm wrapping up the 25th year of celebrating keeping my weight loss off, and I lost weight initially for myself, but then I also lost it a little bit for public approval. And I found myself in a negative spiral when that happened. So once I got back into the idea of doing it for me and me only and being happy with what I accomplished, it was a much easier road and I was much more satisfied with the results. So go through your goals list. Once you set up the goal, once you set up how long it's going to probably take you to get it done, which ones are you doing for yourself and which ones are you doing because someone else, you're seeking the approval of someone else? When you look at those, the goals that you have that are for someone else or somebody else's approval, mark them off or put an X by them, because you need to prioritize the things that you need to do for you. Or look at that goal, and is there a different way you can look at that goal that it serves you and your interest and your happiness completely, regardless of who else is impacted by it or sees it or experiences it, whatever. Because again, you're going to go in a one lane satisfaction route. You need to be proud of yourself. You need to be very accomplished and happy with what you do and what you set out to achieve. And if you're not, and you're seeking the approval of somebody else or other people, you may not wind up getting that. You may wind up accomplishing this goal that nobody else notices or nobody else cares. So do it for you. Prioritize your need and your satisfaction in that moment. So write them down, read the goal and the date, and then write down, are you doing it, or mark which ones you're doing for yourself and which ones you're doing for the approval of somebody else. Within that too, understand the why. Why are you doing this? Is it because you want to be healthier? Is it because you want to be happier? Is it because you want to be more financially stable? Is it because you want to have a different trajectory in your career? Whatever the reason is, it's fine. But as long as it's for you, that's the most important thing. Because when we have a why behind our goal, it actually makes us want to achieve it more and we're more resilient, which leads us into step 3. What I want you to do is, when you look at the goals that you've now identified and then prioritized based on if you're doing it for yourself, once you see that list that you're doing for yourself, I want you to write down a number 1 through 10. What amount of effort are you willing to give to accomplish that goal? Because most goals, especially big goals, are going to be hard. There's going to be a lot of things in your way. There's going to be a lot of objections and roadblocks and different left turns you're going to have to take, and curveballs are going to be thrown at you throughout the entire year. So are you willing to work as hard as you possibly can to make that goal happen? If it's a career advancement, are you willing to go the route of understanding that you need to learn more things or seek the approval or seek feedback from other people? Because that's terrifying too. So how hard are you willing to work for that goal? Now, it's easy to say, these are all really important to me, but that's not reality. If you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to get out of debt or whatever that winds up being, that probably has a higher level of importance to you. And you're probably willing to work harder for that, hopefully. And there are going to be things too. They're like, one of my goals for 2024, I'd like to get a sonic ice machine. It's ridiculous, but it also at the same time, it brings me joy. So, but is that something that I'm just willing to bust it for? It's a nice to have. So yes, it's a goal. Yes, it's something for me. So it checks those first 2 boxes. But at the end of the day, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, that's okay too. I've got other big goals that I really want to achieve, which if I achieve those big goals, the sonic ice machine may come along with it. So prioritize those 1 through 10 and then reshuffle them, resort them. Which ones are 10s, which ones are 9s, go down the row and put them in order of what priority they have to you and how hard you're willing to work for them. Finally, what you need to do once you have it sorted, prioritized by effort that you're willing to put in and resilience you're going to need probably when you're looking at it, is what is going to hold you back and what is going to make you move on that goal. So identify your weaknesses, but also identify your strengths when pursuing that. So again, I go back to my weight loss example. I have a lot of foods that I really enjoy, and they're not the healthiest in the entire world. And also at the same time, like I used to have a problem with portion control. So that probably was going to be the thing that held me back when I was pursuing it. If I were to pursue it as a new year thing, I did it in the middle of the year. So it was a different approach. But if you look at things and identify what are your blind spots, what are the things that are going to hold you back? What's probably going to knock you off the wagon? What's going to get you in a position where you start losing a little bit more momentum or motivation to accomplish it? What are those things? What are the blind spots? What are the weak spots that you're going to have with that? But at the same time, what's going to motivate you? If it's something that you're trying to do for yourself to provide a better life for your family, whatever that winds up being, if that is your motivator, write that down. If it's a matter of like, I need to hang up a picture. I had a picture of myself that I looked at every single day of the condition that I started in. And every single time I got up in the morning, I saw that picture. It was my motivator because I didn't want to look like that or feel like that anymore. So what is that thing that's going to motivate you? What's that thing that's going to keep you going when times get tough? What is the thing that you can go to? It may be a song. Like, again, I talk about music all the time, but having a motivation or a confidence playlist that makes you feel strong, that makes you feel like you're ready to attack the world, that's fantastic. This morning was a public service announcement by Jay-Z for me. You know, the opening line of allow me to reintroduce myself. Like that, there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be doing in 2024 that is not so distant from the current person that I am or distant from the current brand that I have, but it's a different look for me. And so I'm really excited to pursue those things, but it's a new version of me. And I'm really, really excited, but it is kind of like almost like a 2 or a 3.0 version of who I am now. And the projects and the goals that I'm going after in 2024 are going to take a different level of confidence. They're going to take a different level of effort. And so I'm reintroducing myself to myself. And when I do that, I'm going to reintroduce this new me to the world because there's some great stuff coming. There's some great new keynotes that I'm working on. There's a TV show that I'm working on, all kinds of stuff, like some really cool stuff, but it's going to take an even bigger level of commitment, a bigger level of energy and effort, a bigger lean and humility on, leaning on my network and being very humble about what I do and don't know. And so it's, you have to reintroduce yourself to the world in that way. But that song makes me think about what I want to do and how I want to show up to the world. So build that confidence playlist, but use a picture, use that, write something down. People have vision boards, like go for those things. Whatever motivates you to stay engaged, do that thing. And who cares? I don't care if you have a magic snow globe on the edge of your desk and that's what motivates, go for it. Whatever you need, do that. Do that thing that's going to have you motivated within seconds. That is what you need to get involved and get engaged and have it present with you at all times. So write down your goals, write down the date with them. So that's number one. Analyze if they're for you or for somebody else. Prioritize the ones that are for you. Don't completely blank out, but just check mark or put an X by the ones that are not for you or not for your own intent and happiness. For somebody else, you're trying to seek approval for someone else. Prioritize the amount of effort you're willing to put in, scale from 1 to 10. Reshuffle that list, put the 10s up top, down to 1. And then finally, what are the things that are going to hold you back? And what are the things that are going to motivate you to get them done? Identify those for each of the priority goals. Now, if you get to a point where you're going through 5 or 6 goals and you're like, I'm kind of exhausted, this seems like a lot. Great. Cut it off at that point. Take those other goals and set them to the side. Put them out of sight, out of mind for a while. Because if you have those 5 goals and you're going to be putting a ton of effort into those, you may not wind up having time for the other things. Or, case in point, the Sonic Ice Machine, which I probably didn't realize I was going to be talking about Sonic Ice Machines in this show. But if I'm doing my two or three big goals, that Sonic Ice Machine that's lower on the priority list is going to be a part of the success of that one. So prioritize the things you need to do, the things you're going to wind up putting a whole lot of effort into. And then finally, what are the things that are going to hold you back? And what are the things that are going to motivate you to accomplish each of those goals? And when you do those things, you're putting a lot of effort, you're dedicating a lot of attention and a lot of emotion to those goals, and you will achieve them. And keep that list handy. Keep it somewhere you can refer back to it. Update your status, keep it tracking, set small goals along the way. If you're losing weight or you're trying to make money or you're trying to book new speaking engagements or you're trying to get on more podcasts, whatever that winds up being, keep a running total. Keep that metric in front of you and understand how close you're getting to your goal. Because once we see those achievements, and Peloton does a beautiful job of this too. Like I'm constantly looking at my metrics and my data to figure out where I'm at in the pursuit of my goals. Do those things. We're motivated by numbers. And so if you have those numbers in front of you, you're going to be more likely to understand how much further you have to go, especially with big goals, big financial goals, big career goals, big health goals, whatever that winds up being. You're going to have a long road. So if you have those small goals in place, you're more likely to consistently move forward as opposed to getting analysis paralysis and staying still. So hopefully that helps. This is the day and the weekend that you set those goals and get ready for 2024. Understand what you need to get accomplished, and this exercise will help you identify, prioritize, and realize what you need to do to make these things happen. And again, please head over to the website richbracken.com, sign up for the newsletter. More than happy to send it to those of you that want it. I'm excited to share it. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of really fun content dropped into there. So please make sure you sign up for the newsletter. And last, Happy New Year. It's again, thank you to everyone who has commented, liked, shared, added me on LinkedIn, people that have subscribed to my YouTube channel. So, that's another thing I'm going to be putting a lot of effort into next year. Head over to YouTube and sign up and subscribe there because there's lots of great videos coming. But thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been an amazing year. It's been a very fun, uplifting, energetic, challenging year. A lot of growth has come this year. But there's a clarity and an energy and an enthusiasm for 2024 that I've got that I hope that you have for yours as well. And if you don't have it, maybe this exercise brings it out of you. I hope that for you, because I want you to achieve your success in 2024, just like I want to achieve mine. But I'm cheering for each and every one of you. I am pulling for all of you. And I want to see you find your success and happiness individually that I'm going to go out and get for myself. So cheers. Happy New Year. See you in 2024.